What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be telling you why they want to hide the power of the Black and Latino race's power. See, most people think that we just like everybody else. Well, if we are just like everybody else, how come we're the most targeted people on earth? How come the more you look deep into history, the more spiritual our people became and started off as? You see, we don't have chakras just the line from the spine. We got chakras all up in our arms, legs, feet, hands. Everything around you is energy and frequency. And anything that we put out into the universe, we can either push a certain belief and push a certain action towards other people, and we can inspire other people. Like for instance, music. Bob Marley's music. His music had the power to bring people together. You gotta think music is energy, so whatever the music put out that somebody listens to, that's what their life is gonna align to, because what you hear is what you become, because you're taking that in. That's just like how if a child sees something for a long period of time, they're gonna eventually develop those traits because that's what they're used to and used to hearing or listening to. So when you think about it, our people aren't simply powerless. Our people just don't know the depths of our power. And the reason why hasn't been talked about that much is because a lot of people are still enslaved into religion. See, religion is made to trap us in a certain predicament when we're not able to tap in and know that we have spiritual abilities and powers. If our people look at our ancestors' practices such as voodoo, hoodoo, and how our people used to heal each other and became shamans and use sigils, and we would tattoo the sigils on our body just to activate our spiritual abilities. Just like, for example, everything got a certain meaning and definition behind it. Like, let's say, for instance, like the fire symbol. There's a sigil for fire, air, water, which is all elements we already have as a people. And we can use each of those elements to master them and to actually perform healing abilities for other people. And our ancestors can help us do this. And not only that, our spiritual guides. And it's just so much that's hidden from us that we aren't tapped into because most of our people refuse to learn the knowledge that was given to them. Instead of learning some Christianity, notice how in these churches, these Christian and Catholic churches, none of them teaches you about herbs. No, none of them teaches you how to heal other people and yourself with herbs. None of them teach you how to use these herbs to connect to your spiritual abilities that you already have that's gifted by that planet, which is your ancestor. This planet itself is your ancestor, because what your body's made of is the same soil as the goddamn ground. Our veins look just like lightning, and that lightning look just like the veins in our eyes. If people wake up and see that everything around them is them and you are everything around you, because you're receiving everything around you and you're using that in your everyday life. You gotta think, if you're programmed here, that influences your choices and your thoughts and how you perceive life. That's why religion is here, to deter you, to control your mind and scare you with the concept of good and bad duality with heaven and hell. They figured that they could use that concept into religion to trap you in this religious box where you're giving all your praises to a deity that's sucking all of your energy dry. And then you wonder why you praying to God and thinking everything gonna change when shit is still the same. It's because you're giving your energy to the wrong source. We supposed to be giving our energy to a God that looks and comes from our people, because it's ancestral. That's what I'm saying. I can never worship something that don't look like me or come from my body. You know what I'm saying? Or that's not of nature. If it's man-made, then it obviously means it's not even good. Just like everything around you. Churches wasn't here before. That's man-made. Time wasn't truly here before. Because guess what? Sharks, animals, birds, they don't read clocks. Humans do. I could get so even the English language. That wasn't our only language. We have so many languages that were stripped from us and replaced that we don't even realize we're supposed to be living and talking like the animals. The animals don't even use language to talk. They use frequency and sound and vibration, telepathy. That's how our people communicated, and through symbols and numbers. Before numbers and symbols were created, we had sigils. And those sigils were made to communicate, but also made to connect to the powers within us. So we had power against the oppression, and powers to control the wind, the air, the earth, the soil, the water, the movements of fire, the movements of the ocean. Everything on this planet is meant for us to use as an advantage to make the planet better. The herbs that was given here to us, it was used to heal each other. Like the vibrations of love here, it was meant for us to love each other. Anything under hatred, sadness, guilt, depression, all that's man-made. Racism, because when you think about it, notice how if race wasn't involved in shit, right? If race wasn't involved in anything, how come as people get older they become racist? When you think of babies, if babies don't even look at color. They either like you or they don't. Even kids, when toddlers, it could be Asian kid, black kid, Hispanic kid playing at the playground, and all will be getting along, not worrying about color. But as soon as they get on social media, as soon as they're instilled propaganda and instilled hatred and instilled oppression, now that's when all of this shit happens. It's all taught. At the end of the day, religion is taught. Being a slave to the systems. Everything is taught. School, the definition of school, they teach you not to think for yourself. They teach you to think, to live by their system in order to get along in today's society with each other. They set up a system where you can't even be real just by spreading truth or just being a good person or helping one another out. They want a digitalistic, materialistic society so our people can never find out who they are. People better look at the bigger picture of the goal what's going on, what they're trying to do. People got to look at it past this heaven and hell, devil and God concept, because this is what trapping them in there. When you put that concept on people, that makes you fear death. It makes you fear of judgment, that you did something wrong. When if we so-called did something wrong, then wouldn't it be God's fault, since he knows that we were born into sin? So if we're born into something, then how are you going to blame us for something that you made us be? You see how that don't make sense? We have free will, but we're going to have free will anyway because we got a soul. Our soul resonates with stuff that actually matters. This is why people are waking up to religion and leaving religion, because their soul is not resonating with that story and that belief. It don't have no cultural benefits to Christianity. It don't have no lineage to our ancestors. It just don't. And I hate to say it, but there's older black gods and black deities than Yahweh. Everybody want to claim a god, but don't want to associate it with the earth. Mother Earth operates through ancestral DEA and DNA. That's how we operate. And the difference that makes black and another race is because we have the DEA, which makes us more powerful and more naturally connected than DNA, which is majority what other races have. So there's a difference, but we're all supposed to be having a purpose to better the planet. We're all supposed to be having a purpose to serve the universe, to grow trees, plant flowers, to help the homeless, help the sick, loving each other, hugging, getting together as a family. This all makes the vibration of the planet high, so you can shift to the new frequency, which is the love dimensional world that we're headed to. Because this is all a split. The reason why negativity is happening is so we all can get along, so we can all remember to love each other, because this is what this world is all about. It's all about love. It's all about loving animals, loving nature, everything around you, studying the world, talking to plants, trees, hugging trees, and because when you think about it, everything's alive. Trees are alive. Each and every tree got its purpose and soul. Each and every flower got its own personality, its own color, and even the colors got the stories behind that color. Numbers and letters talk too. because each of those numbers and letters represent a meaning, and it gives you certain meanings. And this is why numerology is so important, because that's how angels and ancestors communicate with us, through numbers. This is where they got numbers from. And if you realize, most Christians complain about this being demonic and witchcraft, when people practice witchcraft their whole life. When you speak something into existence, that's a spell. Because when you talk, you're speaking a vibration and frequency from your mouth that can actually manifest. That's a spell. And people use the English definitions every day, even in the Bible. Witchcraft is everywhere. Because with your mouth you can communicate, and it could come to life. This is why in the Bible it says your tongue has power. It's the power in the tongue. Because when you're talking, that's your breath, your wind. That's wind energy. And that wind energy is connected to the wind. So you talking, speaking to your ancestors, can obviously make the wind move as well. And it can communicate, and that wind can communicate with trees. And when the trees move a certain direction, that's them both communicating through electricity. Because we are electrical beings. Why you think when you drink water, it's called electrolytes? Why you think when you're running, you burn calories? Your body heats up, that's fire. You speaking, that's wind. When you sweating, the water comes down, detoxifying your body, that's the water. Cleansing, your own body cleanses itself. That goes to show you how powerful you are. And this, I didn't mean for this to make it be 11 minutes, but spiritually people need to wake up and realize the type of planet they on. This planet is a magical planet. It's made to be loved, explored, and your beliefs are not meant to be torn down, because ancestral practices were always here before Christianity, before any of these religions, because our practices showed that everything around us was alive and was considered an ancestor, because that was the practice of animism. And that's what we've been practicing before Christianity, before all the other religions started showing up due to colonization. But we were always powerful beings and made our own astrology, our own calendars, our own pyramids, our own giant. Man, there's so much I could go on and on about, but this is what I want to tell y'all. And this is to the Black and Latino people. You all are powerful. You just have to realize that, and you have to tap into it on a higher frequency so you can understand on how to use it. Search up like etymology or Kemet practices or ancient African practices, and even study Aztec practices and practices all around the world other than just Christianity, so you can get a good viewpoint on what's going on. Each religion tells a half-truth and lie. So when you read the Bible, you're not supposed to take everything in. You're supposed to use it to decode it and use what you know that's going on in the spiritual realm, instead of just reading it all like it's all right, because the oppressor will never give you the truth. They'll never give you the full truth. And they'll mix the truth with the lies so it won't make them look like liars. So they have to put the truth and the lie in the same book. So the words that you're reading, don't take it in personally. Read it to decode it. And this is what I want to teach people. But anyways, y'all, thank you for watching. I had a long conversation about that. It's just something that was on my mind. I know our people is powerful. They're just not able to use it because they don't understand it. They're so religious, so they're trapped up here. And my goal here is to admire and inspire other people to tap into their practices, because this shift is about to show us how crazy the world could get. And the reason why it's getting crazy is because, like I said, it's a shift happening, and everybody is starting to love each other, get along, and then eventually we're going to be back to nature, a force to nature. And it's only getting closer. Each and every day is always something to distract us from ourselves, from us digging into our sigils or spiritual practices and everything they need to help us and our family. We got to start paying attention to us, because that's who we're here for. We got here ourselves. No sky daddy brought us here. We brought ourselves here because we signed a contract for our souls to align to get here. That's how we're here. It wasn't no sky daddy to come save us because we die alone and we come here alone. When something dies, something else always get reborn, and that could be a choice of yours depending on if you woke or not. This is why it matters if they got you here, because your mind connects you to your soul, And creativity is what they want to kill, because creativity, you can open the whole world even in the afterlife. Look it up. When you dream, DMT releases, which is a substance that can make you see whatever you're thinking of that your mind can process. Same DMT substance can be released when you die. Look this up. This is why they had to ban that substance and call it a drug, so people won't realize that's what reality is actually like. Your concept, it's a perception. So yeah, I want y'all to know that. Peace and blessings to everybody watching. Connect with your ancestors, to the planet, to the herbs around you. Go outside, take your shoes off, walk in nature is good for you. Hug the tree, shit. Make friendships with flowers. All this stuff is alive. Walking past all this nature, not speaking to it, not speaking to the wind, the fire, all of it's alive. All of it's active. And even water got a memory. Water, the bubbles that bubble up in the water are memories. This is why when we talk to water, that's where it manifests, in the bubbles. This is what could cause rain. This is why our ancestors used water for rain when they made their rain dance, and they started singing different tunes of frequency music, beating on the drums and singing to the water, and the water would just move, and all of a sudden rain come down. Look up their African rain queen. Telling you, she controlled the wind, the water, and everything. Split the sky open and growed crops. And this is historical. Look up the African rain queen. You're going to see what I'm talking about, on why we need to get back into our practices. So yeah, y'all. Anyways, I'm out of here. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.